Welcome to this explainer. Today we are going on a seriously awe-inspiring biological journey. We're going to dive right into the incredible and honestly almost magical physical transformation that kicks off the exact moment a newborn baby takes its very first breath. It's a story of perfect timing, instant cellular communication, and just absolute biological mastery. Let's get right into it.
So think about human space exploration for a second. If we want to visit an alien planet, we have to spend billions of dollars, rely on literally centuries of scientific progress, and wear these incredibly heavy, super advanced spacesuits just to survive for a few hours, right? But every single day, millions of tiny humans arrive on this unpredictable, germ-filled alien planet that we call Earth, and they don't wear heavy spacesuits. Actually, they arrive with absolutely no protective gear at all, and a lot of them go on to live 100 years. So how is this even possible? Well, it's because the mother's biology acts as the ultimate, most advanced life support system in existence.
Section 1. The first cry and breath. What's truly wild here is just the sheer speed of human biology. The literal second the baby cries and breathes for the first time, a switch flips in the mother's brain. The pituitary gland instantly springs into action and creates a brand new hormone called prolactin. This lightning-fast messenger rushes through the mother's bloodstream, and its immediate mission? To fill these tiny milk-storing sacs with what is basically an elixir of life. This elixir is custom designed to defend this fragile new arrival against the trillions, literally trillions, of unseen enemies, germs and bacteria that are just waiting in this brand new world.
Section 2. Colostrum, the first vaccine. If we look at the timeline of those crucial first 5 days, we see a really fascinating progression. After birth, as prolactin is doing its thing, the first 4 days are dedicated entirely to producing a very specific fluid called colostrum. Now, the volume of this fluid is super low, and it actually contains fewer heavy nutritional ingredients. Because of this, it is completely normal for newborns to temporarily lose just a little bit of weight in these first few days. And, a lot of new mothers see this weight loss and understandably get incredibly anxious, but biology knows exactly what it's doing. Everything is happening exactly when it should, because by day 5, the real, mature milk is going to arrive.
So the really crucial point here is understanding what colostrum, which is sometimes called peas in certain regions, what it actually does. It's this yellowish fluid, and its main job in those first 4 days isn't just feeding the baby, it's cleaning them. Think about it. For 9 months, the baby has been hanging out in the dark, wet environment of the mother's womb, totally surrounded by all sorts of fluids and membranes. To survive independently in our bright, dry world, the baby's internal machinery needs a massive cleanse. Colostrum flushes all those old womb-specific fluids right out of the baby's digestive system.
And there's a great way to picture why this cleanse is absolutely necessary. It's kind of like a deep-sea diver coming up to dry land. If they kept their heavy oxygen tank and masks strapped to their face while just walking down the street, well, that would be pretty foolish, right? The exact same thing goes for the baby. They simply do not need the internal remnants of their underwater womb life anymore. So colostrum steps in and acts as the perfect biological reset button to just wash it all away.
But colostrum isn't just a cleanser, okay? It is the baby's first and honestly most vital vaccine. This yellow fluid is absolutely packed with powerful maternal antibodies. These act as an immediate protective shield for the newborn, giving them critical, instant defense against severe and potentially fatal diseases. We're talking about highly infectious threats here, things like measles, whooping cough, and scarlet fever. Long before the baby's own immune system is fully online, the mother's biology is already in there fighting off the world's dangers.
Section 3. Crafting the perfect nutrition.
Now, right around day 5, the mother's body totally switches gears. Initially, the body is going to produce about half a liter, so 0.5 liters, of mature milk. But producing this seemingly small amount, it's a massive physiological task. Get this, to create just this half liter, several gallons of the mother's blood actually have to circulate rapidly through the fine blood vessels in her chest every single day.
If we zoom in to a microscopic level, we can actually see how this all comes together. As those gallons of blood flow through the chest, thousands of tiny sacs absorb exactly what they need. And this is where enzymes step in, acting like master chemists. They literally take blood glucose and perfectly convert it into lactose, which is a specific type of sweetness the baby's body can easily digest. They extract amino acids straight out of the mother's blood and process them into complex proteins that are designed specifically for human tissue growth and repair. And finally, they pull out essential minerals, like calcium, to guarantee the baby's skeletal strength. It's basically a highly sophisticated, real-time manufacturing plant happening right inside the body. Which brings up a really important comparison. We very often see cow's milk used for children. And hey, while it's perfectly fine and definitely serves a purpose, we do have to look at the biology. Cow's milk is fundamentally engineered by nature to meet the specific rapid growth requirements of a baby calf. Human milk, on the other hand, is flawlessly customized, down to the molecular level, for a human infant's unique brain, body, and developmental needs. Literally nothing else in nature even comes close to it.
Section 4. The mechanics of nursing.
Okay, but before we look at the actual mechanics, we have to address a really common anxiety. A lot of modern mothers worry about this. Does breastfeeding ruin your figure? Does it cause everything to sag and lose its shape? It's a totally widespread fear, but we have to ask, does it actually have any basis in biological reality?
Well, the answer is a resounding no. That fear is completely unfounded. Nature has actually designed this system perfectly. The breasts are held securely in place by a network of internal support ligaments, and nursing a baby does not loosen or destroy those ligaments at all. Plus, the biology actually anticipates the physical wear and tear. Specialized glands naturally increase the production of specific, lubricating fats right in the area where the baby feeds. This stops the skin from painfully cracking despite all the repeated use, ensuring the whole process remains smooth and, comfortable for the mother.
Now, for the milk to actually start flowing, we rely on another absolutely incredible messenger. Enter oxytocin. This is a true rapid response hormone. The milk might be sitting there inside those millions of tiny sacs, but it won't just fall out on its own. Oxytocin is the biological key. It's the trigger that forces the milk out of those storage sacs and pushes it down into the ducts where the baby can actually reach it.
Let's step through exactly how this letdown reflex works, because it's a stunning sequence. Step 1. The baby's lips press against the areola, which is essentially this dense, highly elastic network of incredibly sensitive nerve endings. Step 2. The very moment that pressure is applied, those nerves send an instant, lightning-fast signal straight to the mother's brain. Step 3. The brain's pituitary gland immediately releases our hero hormone, oxytocin, right into the bloodstream. Step 4. As soon as that oxytocin hits the chest, the muscle tissues surrounding the milk sacs begin to rapidly contract and squeeze. And finally, Step 5. This pressure forces the milk automatically into the ducts. The amazing part? The baby barely even has to suck. The nutrition just flows freely, exactly when that hungry little human needs it most.
Section 5. Hidden benefits for mothers.
Just consider this remarkable physical transformation for a second. Over 9 months of pregnancy, the mother's womb expands massively. It turns into this large, stretched sac to hold the growing baby. But the very act of nursing naturally triggers a biological response that causes the uterus to rapidly shrink. It goes all the way back down to its normal size, which is, believe it or not, roughly the size of a small pear.
And here's the thing, this isn't just about getting back into shape. It's actually a critical survival mechanism for the mother. By rapidly shrinking the uterus, the body effectively closes off exposed blood vessels, and this significantly reduces the risk of severe, dangerous post-birth hemorrhaging. On top of that life-saving benefit, the biological cascade of hormones gives the mother a deep sense of physical comfort and immense satisfaction. It really is just a beautifully reciprocal system.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We started out by talking about alien planets, right? We spend billions of dollars, decades of research, and engineer these heavy spacesuits just so a human can survive in a hostile environment for a few hours. Yet, looking at everything we've just uncovered today, from the lightning-fast hormones and the first vaccines, to the microscopic nutrient factories and the mother's own internal healing, doesn't it kind of make you wonder? Isn't a mother's body, without a doubt, the most highly advanced, perfectly engineered life support system in the known universe? Definitely something to think about next time you look at a newborn baby. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep exploring the miracles around us.